Here's what I call my if you were my attorney story for small business. This is just what I call my if you were my attorney story. I'll say it like this. Let's present, now in my case, I'm in North Carolina, so I can tell you this, okay? I say, I'm talking to, say, Mr. Fair. And I said, Mr. Fair, let's pretend for a moment. He may ask me, say, well, you know, what does this small business plan for Legal Shield do? How does it work? I said, well, let's pretend for a moment I'm the 17th largest law firm in the state. And I'm trying to increase my clientele. And I come to you and I say, I want to hire you or take you on as a client, and I'm only going to charge you $75 a month or $2.50 a day. Would you hire me? Now, remember, I said I'm the 17th largest law firm in the state. So that means all Mr. Fair is going to be thinking about is legal stuff. And I'm looking to increase my clientele, and I want to take you on as a client, and I'm only going to charge you $2.50 a day, or I love that one anyway, or $75 a month. Would you hire me? He says yes. Here's the next question. What kind of things would you want me to do for you? Everything he says, we do. Because he's going to be thinking legal, right? Everything he said. Listen, and it's going to be some things he's not going to even think about. I said, well, you know, what about if you had a debt collection? What if you had this? What if I had that? Now I start getting into the small biz part of it. What if you needed the internet? Well, how much extra would that going to cost? I said, well, let's just say if we were able to do that for that same $2.50 a day. What if we provide you with a website, 4 pages with no hosting fees? What if we provide you with business coaching, online resources where you can get legal forms and documents? Here's what most of the time they say. How much more would that cost me? Right. You follow me? Here's the point. You can segue that now into they've already said they would hire you. They've already said what they wanted you to do for them. Then you segue into the group now. See, I've got the small business sale done because at that point right in time, I'm going to go ahead and do my paperwork. See, I don't need to go through everything else. I'm going to do my paperwork right there on the spot. Now, once I do that, I say, well, I notice you have some vans outside. How many, and let's say this particular business has 7 vans. And I said, well, you know, how many of your employees are authorized to drive those vehicles? He'll tell me. I said, so let's say I'm one of those employees that's authorized to drive those vehicles. Oh, by the way, I like what I call a little Columbo moment. Oh, by the way, just thought about something. Do you think what I do on my own time is any of your business? Do you think what your employees do on their own time is any of your business? Most times they'll say, well, no, not really. I said, so if I'm on vacation, I'm one of your drivers, I'm on vacation, say I'm in Myrtle Beach, wherever, I get a speeding ticket. I'm not going to drive back down to Myrtle Beach 4 hours away from my house. So I just pay the ticket, which is an admission of guilt, which gets me points. I'm not worried about the points because I just renewed my insurance, and my insurance won't renew again until next year. So therefore, I'm not concerned. Yes, I'm going to get points, but I'm not worried about it. But I'm on your company's insurance, right? As well as the other 6 or 7 drivers. I said, so when your company pulls my DMV and the other 6 or 7 drivers, and it pulls up and says one of us has a ticket, they're going to automatically go up on your insurance rates, right? What if there were a way that we could keep those points off those drivers' records? Would or would that not affect your bottom line? Well, because you have our small business plan, that qualifies you to offer this as a benefit to your employees. I'm telling you, that works. Okay? Now, this is something that could possibly give you a fringe benefit for the employees. Oh, by the way, it's another Columbo moment. Oh, by the way, it's almost like you're just about to walk out. Oh, by the way, let me ask you, how often do you give your employees a raise? Let's say they say, well, we give them a raise once a year. And most of the time when you ask them how much of that raise is, they'll say 3%. And just say, well, look, if you don't mind, could you break it down for me that instead of percentage, tell me what the hourly rate is? And let's say they said 65 cents or 50 cents an hour. And I said, okay, here's what you can do. Still give them the 50 cents an hour. Still give them the 65 cents an hour. But instead of giving them, if it's 50 cents, instead of giving them 50 cents in their paycheck, give them 35 cents in that paycheck. Take the other 15 cents, which is 14.9 cents an hour, is for the 2690 plan or the 2590 plan. Take the other 15 cents, let it pay for the Legal Shield Identity Theft benefit, and you still writing off the same amount of money, but now you're able to give a total fringe benefit to your employees. It didn't cost you any more money out of your pocket because you told me you were going to give them 50 cents an hour anyway. You were going to give them 65 cents an hour anyway. All I'm telling you is instead of putting all that money into their paycheck per hour, just take the 14.9 cents or the 15 cents, let it pay for the Legal Shield program, and guess what? Now you got a fringe benefit. Be it done just like that, okay? For any of the change, y'all read that. Let's read that together, okay? Ready? Read.
For anything to change, you must first change. Personal growth combined with consistent activity in time will provide everything we want to anyone that wants it.
To attract leaders, we must become leaders. And the best leaders are first great followers. The growth and success of others is our number one priority. Now let me tell you something. Your success in Legal Shield will be determined by the things you are willing to ignore. I want you to think about what I said. Your success in Legal Shield will be determined by the things you are willing to ignore. The reason I don't make what that man makes, the reason if I don't make what that man makes is because they've ignored some things that I let get under my skin. I want y'all to think about that. We get so consumed with other stuff until we end up not focusing on what we need to focus on. Men fail because of broken focus. Now, whether you're spiritual or not, as I close out, everybody will remember this. Whether you're a spiritual person or not, everybody knows about Peter walking on the water, right? And regardless of what religious background or whether you have no religious background, it doesn't matter. That's not what this is all about. But just I want you to think about something. I said men fail because of broken focus. The way the story goes is that Peter was on a boat, the wind, the rain, the hail, everything was going on. And he looked out and he saw Jesus walking on the water. And he said, Lord, if it's you, bid me to come. He said, come. Now, a lot of people, griped about Peter, but at least Peter got off the boat. That's something you need to think about too now. At least Peter got off the boat. That's something to say about the others. They didn't even want to take no chances. See, some of y'all ain't gonna even take no chances. You're gonna come here this weekend, you're gonna soak up all this air, you're gonna pay for a good hotel room, you're gonna leave here, you're gonna call people and tell people how great this was, and when you get back tomorrow, you're gonna do the same thing you've been doing. And I'm telling you, it just won't work. It makes no difference, it makes no sense for you to come here and spend the money that you spent, put it on whatever credit card you put it on, and then leave out of here and do the exact same thing you've been doing the whole time. Because if you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. So let me get back to Peter. When we talk about men failing because of broken focus. Lord, if it's you, bid me to come. When the Lord said come, Peter started walking on the water. Now watch this. As long as his eyes was focused on Jesus, was the wind still there? Was the storm still there? Was the boat rocking and rolling? Didn't pay no attention because he was dead-eye focused on Jesus. His eye was on the prize. But as soon as he took his eye off the prize and started looking around at all the stuff that was going on around him, he started to sink. Now, what am I saying? You say, well, what does that have to do with Legal Shield? Stop worrying about who's going to do the presentation Thursday night. Stop worrying about who's going to be the guest speaker on the call as to whether you get on the call or not. You got to be focused Laser focus. Regardless of what's going on around you. Stop worrying about, well, did you hear about this person quit? Well, did you hear about this person took on this other opportunity? What does that have to do with you? I mean, will it put any money in your pocket? The fact that they went to another company. Why are you asking stuff like, well, if a millionaire club member left, it must not be that good? Well, ask yourself this question. If it was that bad, would somebody stroke a check for $650 million? Right. I mean, at some point in time, we got to start, come on. I think, and when I say I think, I'm looking at myself when I say these things, so I'm not just saying them just to you. I'm not talking at you, I'm talking with you when I say that we are in the right place at the right time with the right opportunity, but it won't do you no good if you don't do the right thing. You'll still go out of here wrong. So we got to take advantage of what we have in our hands. The fact that this was available for us here now, I'm telling you, this is awesome. I mean, it's getting better and better, and better. As the old folks could say, it's getting gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. So please take advantage of this. Know that you are where you are today because of the choices that you made. Your success, your choice. Your success, your choice. Never complain about what you permit. Never complain about what you permit. I hear ladies sometimes talk about how their friend kept them on the phone so long. Every time she called me, hang the phone up. My job so bad. Quit. Quit. Okay? I have really enjoyed this. Thank you, Mr. Serber, for having me on today. I appreciate it. I hope it helped somebody, okay?